Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. So let's just, jump in with the kind of traditional question here, but just, what inspired the creation of Guild Education?
Yeah, I'd say a couple of things. So my co-founder, Rachel, and I have actually known each other since our first week of our freshman year of college.
Oh, wow.
And so we have worked together actually for close to 10 years and gone to college and business school and then worked through companies together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say part of it for us is, for me, it was really personal. No one in my family had gone to college. Still has gone to college. And so saw so many of my family members either try college and not finish, or need to make choices to support their families. And
sure.
So, trying to think about sort of non-traditional pathways, I think, was really personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Guild really got started because of our work, basically because of a lot of frustrations, candidly. So one in the sort of in the K-12 space. Rachel actually was a consultant and looked at sort of systemic change, statewide change to ensure more and more students were going to college, and was seeing a lot of the challenges around sending students, particularly from low-income backgrounds, to college and seeing them not finish. And I actually was a teacher and saw the same thing happen to my students and seeing the big challenges there. And so we actually spent many years in the community college space. And so we were partnering with community colleges to help them build honors pathways and transfer pathways sort of in and out of state, which was much less common. And, we're able to develop a really strong coaching model around that was much more proactive and not meant to be open door, right? Where candidate only students who've been, raised in families that sort of taught them that asking for help, right, wasn't a sign of weakness, but you need to sort of advocate for yourself.
Right.
That those don't really work. That doesn't really work. And so how do you build the trust? It's through that sort of proactive coaching and relationship building. And so we saw really great success. And we're seeing, triple, sometimes quadruple the sort of retention and completion rate. But even still, we were losing a large percentage of students to work, which was the number one reason of supporting my family and supporting someone. And so what do? I have to drop out of school, right? And so we became really obsessed with seeing how to better connect work and school. And so that's really where our research for Guild began, was trying to figure out how do we better connect work and school. Is there opportunity to actually not make students choose? Can students do both? Right. And if so, who can be a payer? And that's really where we stumbled upon a huge employer need, right? Which is particularly for frontline workers. They're thinking a lot about churn. And the cost of churn, and thinking about how do we recruit, retain, and upskill talent. And so in many cases, we were solving two different problems through education as a win.
Right. It's definitely a win-win. That's what I noticed even from your website. Yeah, the companies are winning, the students are winning, and also I guess it's a win-win-win because the institutions that you're partnering with are definitely winning on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I like to see the bridging of the gap. My brother is actually the director of advising for Front Range Community College, so he sees that too. And of course, in the work that we're engaged with adult learners, that work and school, it shouldn't fight each other in a lot of ways. It should actually work together, and it seems like that's what Guild is trying to do here. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges and successes that you've experienced during the startup phase of Guild, and now, of course, that you're scaling, as we talked about earlier, you're building and getting bigger here?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think about them in sort of a few different buckets. So I think one, if you think about scale in particular, it's really important, I think, to think about when an organization scales really quickly, it's important to be cognizant of organizational structure and communication, right? And so I think it is very different than, less than 4 years ago, we literally all worked in one room, right?
Right.
And so thinking about being really cognizant of both the structure and processes to make sure that communication is happening, that decisions are being made in an effective and efficient manner.
Sure.
This sort of decision-making by, consensus when you're a company of five is very different, right? Because you do need everyone to think about it. And so I think that becomes really important to think of the structure and processes, and I think is a challenge that any sort of scaling organization faces. And then I think we have to remember that there are people behind that, right? And so it's really critical to say, to always explain the why and to really foster, a focus on building the relationships and trust across the organization, so that when things change, there's a focus on that. I would say something we've done really well, I would say it's been a success sort of internally, has been our focus on actually our core values, and constantly actually re-looking at them to say, what are they now? How have they, do they still mean the same thing? Do they mean something different? And constantly having that sort of refresh to talk about how do we live out our values. And so I think it's one thing to put values up on the wall. I think it's another thing we actually included in all of our bi-yearly, so twice yearly review processes. We give out awards for it. We talk about it on our different teams. And so we're constantly talking about our values. We actually do exercise where every team says, like, these are the behaviors that manifest these values for my team.
I love that.
And so I think that sort of focus on core values as we've grown and scaled is really, really important. And we constantly get feedback. So we did not do a sort of a top-down process on our values. And so we've actually just recently did a values refresh where we had new individuals, old folks that have been around for a long time, did focus group surveys. And one of the big pieces of feedback we got was there was some similarities in some of our values, and people wanted to be able to battle them off, and really wanted them connected to behaviors. And so that was a really core part of what we did. And in our rollout, we're doing things around how do you physically touch a value, how do you see it, what activities sort of goes onto it. And so I think that for us has been a huge success, and I think helps ground people in our mission and our work, no matter what your role is. And so I think making sure you make it specific to role as well as saying these are important behaviors across the org is important. So I'd say like that sort of internal stuff as I think about challenges and successes is making sure that, it's a challenge to think about how do we think about different operational structures that work for the organization as we grow, and keeping that in mind, knowing how quickly we need to grow in the next year, and then investing in really those sort of relationships and communication structures, and remembering that something that worked when you were 50 people or 80 people doesn't work when we're 250 and will be close to 500 by the end of the year, and so those things will need to change again. So I think that's really important, and then making sure that really your values for us, sort of, it just keeps people, I think, honest and really connected to our mission, sort of regardless of what someone's role is.
Right.
And then I think sort of externally, I think thinking about, it's really critical as we think about how to scale to meet client and sort of both client needs on the employer side and client needs right on the academic side. That we all do it in service of the student, and I think that has been a huge success for us. It's allowed us to prioritize, which has been really important. And so I think, it has been important for us to build a model, right, where, field makes money as students continue to persist and retain, and universities win because they get more students, but students that are actually staying and are able to pay. And employers win because their employees are sticking around. And so I would say for us, consistently making sure that model stays true has been really important.
That's great. I noticed that even in my own work, just making sure everything's student first or student centered, that really changes the way you make decisions actually on a day-to-day basis. So when you go back to that as like a core value, I find that that's really helpful in guiding what we do every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So as head of student experience, what are some of the trends that you're seeing in how educational providers are serving adult learners today, good or bad?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think, so I think a couple of things. So one, in terms of sort of market trends, right, which you're paying, I'm sure, a ton of attention to, is a few things. One is we know, obviously, that sort of working adult learners and, learners over the age of 25 is now the new normal, right? But a challenge we face is all of our policies, sort of the federal level and in most cases actually at the state level, reflect a traditional 4-year trajectory, sort of when you're 18, right? And so you even look at sort of policies like Section 127 of the tax code that allows $5,250 for employers to be able to invest in you and your education. That number hasn't really been adjusted since I think 79 or around that time.
Wow.
And so as we think about sort of, or you think of, you think about Pell Grants and other things, right? Like, and we think about how much Pell Grants have increased in the last few years. It's abysmal as we think about the rising cost of college education. And so I think a challenging sort of consistency that we're seeing is policies that tend to reflect the sort of the needs of a more traditional path. I think what's exciting is we're seeing some really positive trends as it relates to, okay, working adult learners are now actually becoming the new norm, and so how do we best serve them? And actually, it is very different than how you serve an 18-year-old. And so I think it's really important to pay attention to models that do this well. And I think a few things really matter, right? Is if we only have time, money, and resources, right? Sort of give. I think programs that are focused on better connecting work and school, including things like how do you award credit, right, for prior learning, to say that someone who manages 20 people at a fast food location is not doing college level work, thinking about P&L, human behavior, management, you name it, right? It's crazy. And so I think it's really exciting to see more and more institutions getting comfortable with awarding of credit for, strong training outside of school. So I think, and that also signals to the learner, oh, they get me, right? They understand what it means to be a working adult. It's all of the things that ironically, like L&D teams, though it isn't always executed well, have known for a long time that like adults learn when things feel practical and useful. It's not that theory can't be introduced in the learning, but it's really important that they understand practical application. And so you're seeing whether that's in-person learning or online learning, often instructors that they have both that are academic practitioners, right? So they can actually speak to kind of the experience outside of the classroom as well. The convenience of online learning, I think, is huge. No one pretends that because it's online it'll be easier, though I think that's sometimes a misconception, and that students are really surprised. And so I think there's continued work to be done in thinking about how do we make online learning as engaging as possible. You have everything from far end of the right of the spectrum of 2U to sort of correspondence courses, right, which have essentially become obsolete on the other end of the spectrum. And I think that is sort of exciting. So those are some of like the high level trends. The other really important trend to think a ton about is sort of the future of work, the rise of things like automation and other things. And sort of like take a survey or report, like no one knows. It's anywhere from like 5% to 47% of jobs will become automated. The answer is we don't know. But what we do know is jobs will change, right? And so if the answer is jobs will change, whether a whole job will disappear or how you do your jobs will change, people are going to need to go back to go back to school, whether that is like a formal degree or not, and learn new skills. And so I think there's just this huge population of people, millions and millions, right, that have tried higher ed before and candidly have been failed by the system. And we're told, hey, you'll earn more, this will be better for you. And most graduated with debt and actually ended up worse than their peers, which is a high school diploma. And so I think we have a lot of work to do to build back trust for those individuals who will likely be the most impacted and will need higher education options. And then, of course, I think I get asked a ton about, how do you feel about certificates or short-term programs or boot camps and all the different types of learning, right? And I think the answer is like there's no one size fits all. I think particularly for students who do not have a bachelor's degree, there is unfortunately like no data that suggests that will become irrelevant. And so I think certificate programs and boot camps and other things that provide tactical skills and really tangible skills are excellent for students that don't have any form of post-secondary credential yet. I do think that maintains a really strong option for them to like sort of keep their options open.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to go back to what you were talking about too about the rise of AI and everything, I actually wanted to connect that to the president of Northeastern, Joseph Aoun. He has a book called Robot Proof, and it basically speaks to that, right? It's like the humanics learning that in terms of, social, emotional, like how do we teach that in addition to those tactical skills that you might get in a boot camp, right? Like that's what you're going to get. And then also, how do you combine that with the type of education today just to be robot proof? I love that title just because that's exactly what we're looking to do in education today, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So switching gears just a little bit, what do you see as the future of entrepreneurship in the education space?
I think there's a couple of things I can sort of, the education landscape generally, I think there's buckets where we focus a lot on sort of higher education and workforce development. I would say sort of where our lens is positioned. But I think a couple of things that I think is really exciting, which is it doesn't matter if you're looking at, strata papers or papers from Lumina or conferences or other things. I think the rise of partnerships, right, of public-private partnerships, of connecting, sort of connecting different entities that have both different lenses but also very different skill sets is really critical. And so I think particularly educational entrepreneurship is really well positioned to provide often like a missing lever that, let's say, perhaps a nonprofit foundation or think tank or government entity or even in many cases university may not have, whether that be around sort of really strong technology or sort of technology services or other things. But there's a ton of opportunity, I think, through partnership.
Right.
And I think that's a really interesting space. I think in many cases, right, healthcare, often, let's say, finance and education are sometimes seen as cover spaces for entrepreneurs because of all of the regulation.
Sure.
I actually sort of see that as the opposite. That's the place where I get excited to be most, because in many ways it gives both sort of guardrails, but then it also means that things have likely moved slower, and therefore that sort of space is really ripe for innovation. And so I think actually regulated spaces are some of the most critical and I think most impactful places to focus entrepreneurial efforts.
I love that perspective. That's a good way to look at it. And I would resonate too with that point about partnerships being more important. I think a lot of times people think within the entrepreneurial space you have to disrupt. And I do think there's a level of disruption that you need, but I think partnerships really is more the future of where those ventures should be going. Yeah. So,
I agree.
So specifically for Guild, what do you envision for the future of Guild, and where are you hoping to take it maybe in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say there's a few pieces to that. So I would say a few years ago, if you would have asked me that question, I would have said, I'm really excited for the day when we explain what Guild does and that we provide education as a benefit, that people will stop scratching their head and say, what does that mean, right? And I think what's really exciting is that stopped happening because of a lot of things that have sort of market trends, right? As we think about a changing workforce, as we think about, we've had a much more stable economy in the last few years, and so, employers are losing frontline workers for, less than $1 a day, right? And so how do you think about keeping people, and strong educational benefits is a really interesting way to do that. And so when I think about that question now, the piece that I get really excited about is, it's no longer just a lovely thing to say that we need to be lifelong learners. The data really suggests that we have to be lifelong learners.
Right.
And so I think Guild is particularly interested in supporting those who candidly have had less than stellar prior post-secondary experiences, or in many cases we now offer, high school completion programs, English language programs, et cetera, where our system has not been set up well to serve them. And so what I get really excited about is Guild and others like Guild playing a really critical role in providing a positive educational experience for someone so that sort of the changing workforce is no longer scary. And so I think the way we do that is through increasing our reach through as many sort of employer partners, serving really, frontline workforce kind of across the U.S. And so I think we will become successful when we think about the students that we served and set on a positive sort of learning journey so that they can continue to reassess their skills and continue to add more to increase their economic mobility. And so I think that is, long term, that is our North Star is increasing economic mobility, and we see really the ability to earn and learn really at the same time. I think is really critical to doing that. So that's what I get really excited about.
I love that. And I love the lifelong learner thing. You're speaking my language with that, just because everyone should want to be a lifelong learner. And I think everyone should have the access to do that too. So sometimes we want it, we just can't get to it, right? So that's great.
Can't get to it. Exactly.
And so just finally here, what advice do you have for emerging entrepreneurs who are mission driven? Because obviously, as you mentioned, increasing economic mobility for working adults is clearly a priority for Guild. That's mission driven in everything you do. What's some advice you have for those who are trying to make a name for themselves in this space and are mission driven and balancing that?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think there's a few pieces that I would touch on. One is, I think, particularly as it relates to social entrepreneurship, is you cannot, if you do not have a sustainable business model, right, you will never be able to achieve your mission. And so I think in many cases, there have been examples, right, where sort of entrepreneurial adventures were in many places may have been better suited to be nonprofit, and in other cases the opposite, right? And so I think making sure if it's a mission-driven organization and you plan to have it be, a for-profit or a B Corp like ours is, you need to make sure you have a sustainable business model. Mission is not enough. And I think that's a really important piece. So the more and more work that folks do at the outset to test the different business models and see what fits, what problem is this solving, and is this sustainable, I think is incredibly important. I think too, something that I think is always really important is asking for help. I think there's almost this sense in entrepreneurship that you should be able to sort of figure it out. It's a great idea and it will happen, right? And there's a million great ideas, but it's the execution that's the hard part. And so making sure that as an entrepreneur, you're willing to ask for help, to learn from others, from investors, advisors, people in your space, but also people in spaces where there may be some similarities, right? I think of similar spaces to us. Healthcare can be a really similar space to us. What can I learn from the healthcare industry and others in similar spaces? Not being afraid. The best thing you can do is, if you're able to hire people that are 10x more talented than you, right? I think that's been something that we really prided ourselves on, and it's really humbling, but it's so critical to sort of what we do. And then I'd say the other thing that, I always think is really helpful, and I'd say, others have helped us do this with even more success, candidly, is making sure you celebrate milestones, right? Entrepreneurship is just a series of constant hills, right? You hike up one, and then suddenly there's a bigger one that's next. And so I think making sure that you actually stop and celebrate those milestones is really important. To sort of maintain that sort of momentum and energy. And I think it's really infectious for your teams as well. And so it's, particularly for early founders, it's really hard to celebrate success because you're like, woohoo! Right. I can keep the lights on. But that is worth celebrating, right? Absolutely. And so I think that's something that's really important and something that I always encourage other entrepreneurs to make sure that they do. It doesn't mean you're going to stop working hard. It just means you're taking a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Yes, you have a long way to go. And no one knows that more than the entrepreneur themselves, but take a moment and celebrate.
I love that. That's so great. And I know you can't see me right now, but I'm actually just smiling ear to ear because everything you're saying is just resonating so much. And I can relate to all of this. And it's been part of this journey in this class for this entrepreneurship class. So many things that you're saying in the reality of it all, of
Oh,
working in this
cool.
space, it's like totally coming alive here. So it's so great to hear all of this is the actual reality, you know?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Are you studying lots of different models? Or are you looking like specifically at ours, or how is it structured?
So for this particular course, we were kind of just doing, we started with a case study looking at, and so everyone in the class kind of took on a different organization. And so we have 20 students in the class, so everyone kind of shared what they learned about their ventures. And then we actually ended up creating a venture of our own. And that's kind of the last project we have going on right now, is that everyone creates their own kind of plan, I guess, if you will. It's somewhat hypothetical, obviously. In terms of an entrepreneurial venture or enterprise that you would want to start and then eventually scale. So everyone's coming up with all these really amazing ideas. It's pretty inspiring to hear. And most of the people in my class are K through 12 practitioners, and there are a few higher ed folks. So it's nice to see that other side of it too, because I get so embedded in higher ed that it's been nice to see kind of both sides of it.
Oh, that's so fun. And it's I probably didn't mention that in the beginning, but just as funny and as food for thought, Guild started in a class. So that's
really?
Guild started with Rachel and I were in a class, and actually 3 of our professors were our earliest investors.
Oh, wow.
There were our professors from class, but one of the big ones was sort of focused on, if you were to build an entrepreneurial venture, sort of what would need to be true, and that's actually where we built our Guild values.
Wow.
Within that class, and talking about sort of, you can't have a value with having a trade-off without discussing a trade-off. And so making sure as we put down each of our values, we said, so therefore this is the trade-off.
Oh, wow. That's great. I like that exercise.
And that's actually where sort of Guild started, was actually within business school. So I think these exercises are like fun, and you'll learn from no matter what. And there's tons of examples of where those things actually came to fruition.
Right. Well, if that's not inspirational for my colleagues who are listening to this, I don't know what will be. So that's great to hear. Yeah, just because, we've all been working on these kind of big ventures and trying to think. I know a lot of my colleagues are going to be bringing these to fruition. So it's really cool to hear that that's how Guild started, and it's so successful now. It's just incredible.